Everyone to the Hurting Humanity channel. After all of those plane crashes, the one in Philadelphia, the DC crash, that took 67 lives. Some of the other stories that have been popping up that they're deliberately showing you about planes having issues reaching the runway and all sorts of turbulence, planes dropping from the sky, all going back to the air traffic controllers. This was deliberately done. This is how problem, reaction, solution works. And when the planes crashed and those stories were circulating about a week ago, I talked about, remember, they create these events. People out there go, false flag, PSYOP. They don't realize there's a purpose to false flags. There's a purpose to PSYOP. They do these things for a reason. It's not just about ritual sacrifice, or it's not just about killing people for no reason. It's about problem, reaction, solution. And the thing I talked about when they occurred was to pay attention to artificial intelligence's role in air traffic control, because they need to tear down all current systems. Everything has to crumble. You see it happening right now in the White House. You see them like dominoes taking down all these government agencies, and everybody's cheering, everybody's applauding. They're baiting people with the stuff they're revealing about what they're spending your tax money on, getting you on board with it, loving what you're seeing, right? But this is what they've wanted from the get-go. They are tearing it all down to rebuild with AI infrastructure, and it includes things like air traffic control. And for anybody out there that says, well, they couldn't just put AI in air traffic control, why would they have to do this in order to put AI in air traffic control? Well, remember, AI is going to replace human beings. So for starters, they need to make it so that people trust in AI over human beings. Number two, they have to make it so that people are okay with AI replacing human jobs. So after creating that event, what were all the stories out there about? DEI hires, right? Incompetent people in the air towers, making people feel uneasy about boarding a plane. All strategically done so that they could tell you the solution. And now it's here. Just like I talked about in my previous videos, what you'd start hearing about as soon as this dust settled from these stories. And here it is. Elon Musk says that Doge will make rapid safety upgrades to the air traffic control system. Here is a tweet from Sean Duffy, who is the transportation secretary, who is handing this over to Doge. And he says, big news, talk to the Doge team. They're going to plug in to help upgrade our aviation system. And Elon says, with the support of Donald Trump, the Doge team will aim to make rapid safety upgrades to the air traffic control system. Just a few days ago, the FAA's primary aircraft safety notification system failed for several hours. So the systems they're telling you are dated, that they need to be upgraded. And they're also going out of their way to tell you that human incompetency, humans who weren't capable of the job, are responsible for the deaths of all these people. And of course, what's the solution to the problem? Let's be real here. Here's the articles talking about it right off the bat. It's not yet known how Elon Musk engineers would revamp air traffic control systems, though it's possible their efforts could involve AI. Tech news outlet 404 Media reported Tuesday that Thomas Shield, who now runs the Technology Transformation Services, TTS, office within the General Services Administration, called on TTS to find ways to incorporate AI throughout all federal agencies. Does everybody out there understand that? Let's just recap before I play for you a clip from Donald Trump. The globalists who meet at the Bilderberg, at the World Economic Forum, at the UN, the topic of conversation over the last decade, every single year when they all meet and we all point and say, look, they're going to meet, they're going to conspire, is AI governance, which means that artificial intelligence will reign supreme throughout our government, throughout our infrastructure, which includes transportation, how you fly, how you drive. This will give them full control over all things in our lives. So you have these people who are pretending that they're tearing the walls down in Congress because it's so corrupt and it's so this and it's so that. And everybody's known that it's corrupt. That's no secret. But now they're feeding you stuff, feeding you this. So you can see how ridiculous it is. And they're making it up as they go so that you get on board with tearing down the walls. But you haven't figured out what the solution is yet. Well, the solution, of course, is AI. And Donald Trump even just gave this speech where he talked about how the people in the air traffic control towers are just really, really stupid people. We need smart people, right? We need smart people in there. People in there are really, really dumb, and then people think automatically when they hear that, well, I don't want dumb people in the control towers. I fly for work. Everybody sometimes might have to fly to go visit a loved one, go on vacation, right? So we're hearing that dumb people are in there. Donald Trump goes out of his way to say this, right? Listen.
Some of these Doge engineers that Elon Musk has helping him are as young as 19 years old.
They're very smart, though, Peter. They're like you. They're very smart people.
Have you met any of these guys?
No, I haven't seen them. They work actually out of the White House. They're smart people. Unlike what they do in the control towers, where we need smart people, we should use some of them in the control towers where we were putting people that were actually intellectually deficient. That was one of the qualifications, is you could be intellectually deficient. No, we need smart people.
Right, so Donald Trump is saying that there's dumb people in there, and he says, well, we need these smart engineers in there. What do you think, that these smart engineers that work in the White House are all going to resign from their positions, and every one of them is, what are they going to do, clone each one of them and then send them to an air traffic control in New York, and a tower in New York, and a tower in LA, and they're going to go work there? Of course that's not what he's saying, but people aren't figuring it out. He's saying that the people I have, the engineers that I have, are smarter. Well, by that he means they're smarter than the people there, and they're going to figure out a system to make air traffic control, quote unquote, better. And that's why stories continue to come out like this. Air traffic controller didn't warn about all the dangers of ex-Black Hawk pilot. These stories are continuing to come out. The incompetency of humans, how human error is responsible. But what's perfect? What doesn't make errors, right? Well, Google search does when you search for something, right? AI doesn't. It gives you all the answers. It doesn't see skin color. It doesn't see gender. It sees just perfection. That's what they're convincing you of. But most people out there don't realize what AI even is. They think AI is downloading something on their phone that talks to them, like Gemini or something that speak. Ooh, is that what it is? Are they gonna? They don't even realize that this is the control grid that they're putting in place. So again, remember, they're creating all of these problems so that they can come in with the solutions. You're seeing the same thing with the IRS, the USAID, all these government agencies, which we know are corrupt. They're revealing it to you, but they're not really revealing it. They're baiting you. They're manipulating you and trying to tell you that, well, we got to fix this. This is a problem. Everyone's going, yeah, we do. But see, the fixing of it is the solution that all of them want. The Democrats, the Republicans, the globalists. It's not a revolution that's occurring. It's a deliberate taking down of the infrastructure. It's sabotage. That's what it is, to bring in AI governance. So all one has to do is go and look back at all the things that I've shown you over the last couple of years, last couple of weeks, last couple of months, in regards to what the World Economic Forum is talking about, how we bring AI into the physical world with autonomous systems. The fourth industrial revolution, which is the topic. It is the blueprint from 2016 written by Klaus Schwab. It's about creating and connecting everything through AI. So that's your global government. Think about it. If everything wasn't connected through AI, how would they ever have a global government? The way things are right now, we can look at it, we can say, well, the New World Order, it's here, it's coming. Yeah. But how is our government connected directly to China other than them working together? How's our day-to-day life affected by these people without the connecting of everything as one through AI infrastructure, the recreation of the Tower of Babel, right? So the World Economic Forum wants to bring that in. And what you're seeing is sabotage on a massive scale around the earth right now, specifically in America. They've waited. They've baited you with ridiculous stories for years about the ridiculous things that Democrats were doing, saying that your tax money was going towards this and going towards that, telling you and showing you, men dressed as women parading around the White House lawn. Every day they did that psychologically, deliberately, so that when they went in, and then they said, we're going to get rid of all that crap, that you would cheer. But at the same time, that all of that is happening, that they're removing that, they're quietly implementing AI governance, right? So these are things that need to be in place. Artificial intelligence making aviation more sustainable. All these articles that are out there about AI's role in air traffic control. Immediately after the first crash in DC, what did we hear stories of? Case for AI enhanced air traffic control, one after the other after the other. And when nobody pays attention to with Elon Musk, it's the things that he's involved in, the things he said in the past, right? I mean, the fact that people are overlooking Neuralink shows you how easy it is to manipulate them and bait them with ridiculous things. We're talking about a man who wants to chip people and says that the phone is going to go in your body and then your brain is going to interact with the computer, right? Literally creating cyborgs. But since he tells you now there's two genders despite his own daughter being transgender, you're distracted by it, right? You can't even see past all the manipulation tactics. Elon Musk, last year, before he jumped on the bandwagon for Donald Trump, right? Elon Musk expects AI will replace all human jobs, lead to universal high income, which is universal basic income. He's pretending that it's not. He's pretending you can still make more than so-and-so with universal high income. No. It's universal basic income under another name, just to get you to accept it, to accept AI. What we should be doing is looking at this and saying, we're not allowing AI into our lives. We don't need AI. The pros don't outweigh the cons. There are no real pros, right? What? Because you could ask AI if you have something, what your blood pressure is without hooking something up to your arm to see what your blood pressure is. Is that a benefit, right? Oh, you could get a teacher to teach you something with AI instead of worrying about the teacher if they're going to try to push their ideologies down your kid's throat. These are all things they've done deliberately so that you go, hey, AI is a better solution, right? And Musk is somebody who's talked about the removal of human jobs, that there won't be any jobs, he specifically said. So these are things they have to do to get you on board, right? If they didn't create these events and they just said, hey, we're going to take all the air traffic control, we're going to put in AI. You might go, whoa, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if I trust a computer in the AI towers. What about the humans that are having their jobs replaced, right? That used to be the main thing people would care about. Nobody would want to see somebody else lose their job. But obviously after everything that happened a couple of years ago, so many people lost their jobs, we saw just how cold-hearted people have become, that they don't even care about people providing for their own children, that they're okay with people losing their income, right? But in this case, they need you to trust in AI. So if they didn't create these events and then make you think in your mind that there was dumb people in the flight test, that you couldn't get on a plane because you're too afraid that somebody with blue hair who might be texting might be controlling the plane, or your plane might crash into another plane. If they didn't do that side of it, then nobody would be fully on board with trusting, accepting the solution to the problem. And this is what it's going to be for all government agencies, all of it, right? So they've gotten us over the last 4 years to despise government agencies more than we've ever despised them. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't despise government agencies. I'm not saying that these aren't corrupt agencies. I fully agree. But the solution is not what they're going to give you. That's the solution that they want. It's their new infrastructure. It's not yours. It's not for the people. It's not a revolution. It's an even bigger trap. It's going to cause more enslavement and give them even more control. It's amazing that some of these people think, which I'll cover in a separate video soon, about the stuff with the IRS. All they hear is about, we're not going to pay our taxes anymore, right? Well, in the future, when you have a universal basic income, it won't be necessary for you to pay taxes. And I'll go into detail about this in my separate video. But it won't be necessary because you all have equal income. Your tax is going to be your carbon tax. It's going to be a behavioral tax where you can and cannot go, right? So this is all strategically done. They did this entire thing with the planes by design. They made a big deal about it immediately. Instead of just saying, these planes crashed, this is a tragedy, let's go to the location, it was an accident, right? Everybody right off the bat was suspicious about the helicopter. It's not possible for that to occur with the technology that DARPA has, with the Black Hawks. It's not possible. Let's make that clear. For a helicopter to run into a commercial plane, it shouldn't even have been in that area, okay? And whether or not you believe there was an actual plane crash, people actually died or not, that's another story, and that's fine. You don't have to believe that one way or the other. You have to look at what is coming out of it, because they only create these not for fun, not out of thin air, because it's problem, reaction, solution. So they create those events, whether people die or not, in those events, so that they can come in and give you the solution that they want from the get-go. And then they make you want it, because they make you go, I don't know if I want to fly ever again. I don't trust people. I don't want libs in the, in the air towers. All right, well, what can we use? Well, how about tech? Tech? Okay. How does that work? Well, you don't have to worry about anything. It's all automated. It's autonomous. You can trust it. You don't have to worry anymore, right? And then we get our autonomous planes. We get our autonomous cars. Of course, they'll make you feel safe, but if somebody like me gets in an autonomous car, I can guarantee, like I've said a million times, it'll somehow mysteriously drive right off the Grand Canyon and nobody will ever hear about it. But, these are programmable cars, programmable planes. Of course, they're going to make you feel safe about it, but guess what? You take the human out of it, and suddenly you're under a full control grid. And that's what the plan is. So, this is not coincidental. This is by design. And this proves it. This is proof that when this happened, and I discussed this, and all of you discussed it, we all looked at it because we all understand AI governance, AI infrastructure. This is proof. This should wake somebody up immediately. Quietly, a few days later, right? A week later, they come out and they say, hey, we're gonna tap Elon Musk, Department of Government Efficiency, on the shoulder, right? The transportation guy, right? He's gonna remake our airspace. We need to remake it, right? Well, what do you think they're gonna remake it with? They're gonna put all conservatives in air towers? What do you think they're gonna do? Just remove DEI qualifications? They might tell you right off the get-go that they're not fully removing every single human, but they're integrating AI immediately, right? And just like they say in these articles, finding ways to incorporate AI throughout all federal agencies. That's the name of the game. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you and your families.